Hello, welcome to So Bad It's Good, the show that keeps on giving.
Something.
So on today's episode, we watched Grimm's Snow White. Oh.
Doesn't it look exciting?
Did it look exciting? What did you guys think when we first saw it?
No.
It's safe to say pretty much everyone knows the classic
The Disney.
Snow White.
Yes.
The Disney,
The
Disney
Disney
version of Snow White. There's stuff missing from the original.
Yeah,
They've beautified it and Disneyed it,
Disneyfied it. Does Snow White have it's the Seven Dwarfs, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the Seven Dwarfs I don't think are a thing in the original.
No, I don't
story.
think so. This is more Snow White and the Huntsman. That it took me an hour to watch the first 10 minutes of this.
Yeah.
Why
So we watch
long?
it together, and then one of us will draw straws. Whoever gets the shortest one has to watch it properly again
To talk
and take
about it,
notes
yeah.
so we could talk about it. So I did that. I started yesterday. Yeah, an hour.
On the
hour
first
to
10
make
minutes.
10 minutes.
Long ago, a star burst from the heavens, fell to Earth. The fallen star burned as an eternal light and ultimate source of power, which became known as the Viridian Flame. From this flame emerged two races. First, the reptilian.
Because it's a fantasy thing, they've had to do a lot of world building in the first 10 minutes.
I mean, I would say first 3 minutes.
The
2 or 3 minutes.
2 or 3 minutes is jam fucking packed. It's just like, here we are. We haven't got enough time or budget to explain how this world works, so we're going to do it in a 3 minutes of narratorville. There's no real dialogue in this. It's just story.
That beginning felt like jacking into the Matrix and going, I want to learn how to fly a helicopter.
Yeah.
I know Snow White.
The star falls, and it creates the Viridian Flame.
Oh, what's the Viridian Flame?
It's a green flame. It's just magic. It's just a source of
burns
magic. It's a source of
eternally.
magic. So when it crashed in and it made this flame, and then 2 races appeared, are born from the flame.
Oh.
Oh, yes. Who would you think they are?
I think it's the elves and the humans.
Half right. The 2 races that are born from it, the reptiles, the dinosaurs,
Yeah.
who are the defenders of the flame.
Oh.
Yeah, and then the elves. And the elves, each individual elf has an amulet that contains part of the power of the flame. That's how they can use magic.
This is still in the first.
This is minutes in, yeah.
Right.
This is probably
less than 5 minutes.
60 seconds.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest.
So the elves who are living with the humans, because we're all arseholes, have started enslaving and exploiting the power of the elves.
That's
That's
I
what
can
we
believe
do,
it.
innit?
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, pretty much.
When we watched this at the time, we turned it on and it happened, and I think we were all kind of just sort of chatting but trying to watch
still
it.
settling in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then we were like, oh, hang on a minute, I think we've missed
We've
it.
missed
Like
a
it was
lot.
our mistake, and rewound it, and we just all sat there and watched it again, and I was like, I'm no wiser.
Yeah, watched it completely
Yeah.
focused and just said, no.
Didn't pick up. I couldn't.
Don't know. You have to pay attention to this. So after we've had a narrator, we go to a shot of I called him the kingly looking man, and he's out hunting
Yes.
a boar. He's the king. In
I was
fact.
going to say, you called him the kingly looking man because he's the king.
Yeah, but he's the king. But his costume's a bit budget. Anyway, he's hunting a boar, and they get to the edge of a territory.
No, deer. They're hunting deer.
No, it was a boar, David.
Deer.
Why
Guaranteed.
would you argue with someone that's literally... Do you think you're right? Do you think
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
deer?
Definitely deer.
You're being called out when you're taking
I
charge.
don't care. The edit will prove it.
I do not see any deer.
The edit will prove it. So
See any deer.
no, it was a boar, David.
King says we
Right.
should turn back. We've crossed the border into North Farliand, which is already
Right.
going against the treaty. So there is a peace treaty between the two kingdoms that the king has signed.
Yeah,
We
very
find out
briefly.
just prior to dying, he has signed this peace treaty and has then broken it.
And then a dinosaur turns up. Turns its attention towards the king. And then that's when his huntsman fellow companion,
Yeah.
Legs
he just stands there, starts backing away, shaking his head, and then legs it. I don't think you actually see it, but he snuffs it.
The king.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Across to the castle, and the queen is just sitting there, crying and talking to herself. No one's in the room.
All dressed in a
in her
mourning.
finery.
In her mourning. She's got a black veil on and everything.
Then she decides to go and consult her magic mirror, because this is, of course, Snow White. And she says what we expect her to say.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is fairest of them all?
Her husband's dead, but she only really cares if she's the hottest one.
I mean, women, eh?
At this point, I have written it's just relentless exposition.
From her?
From anyone. Anyone that talks.
You still refuse to confess that the flame is on the prince's land?
As I've said before, the flame is only a myth, madam.
It's so dense, but you're also trying... They don't necessarily always explain everything very well either.
Is it dense in both senses of the word?
Yeah, very much so. And then we come to who I've called Handsome Man.
Handsome Prince.
He is a prince, but I've called him Handsome Man. Henceforth, I will be calling him Handsome Man.
I mean, Handsome Prince is a more...
Yeah, could we not
like
say
a
Handsome
coin-
Prince?
It's not my bloody notes, mate.
He's the Prince of Northalia.
Right.
So
that's what I just want a bit more.
So the king.
You don't really need to know, to be honest. It's completely
you do.
irrelevant.
You do need to know. This is actually
relevant.
This is one of the only relevant points.
The
fact that he's the prince of the kingdom. The star that fell in the forest in Northalia. So the beasts that live there, they all live in his kingdom.
Did you not get? Is this film too dense for you?
He finds this hunter on his land and he tells him to clear off because he's
doing a
hunting
wee,
on his
isn't he?
land.
Doing a
Is
wee.
he doing a
You
wee?
can hear it.
And it's really poorly acted
Yeah.
as well. Like he's just extra. He's been giving him 50 quid.
Yeah.
Just say those lines, mate.
Yeah. Pretend you're doing a pee.
Pretend you're having a pee.
Hunting on Northfalian land is considered an act of war.
Apologies, sir. It was all innocent.
And then they sort of move away, and then it cuts back to the hunter, is the trespassing hunter. And then he gets eaten by a dinosaur.
I must find a way to make peace with the queen that is more lasting.
So it has to be a marriage then.
Handsome Man goes off to see the queen because he's all about forging new relationships.
The day after her husband has died.
The audacity.
So he appears at the castle, gets very easily distracted by a blonde he sees. Like, oh my god, who is this enchantress? He's got a really short attention span, this man. Really fucking short. He is fickle as shit as well. Really fucking fickle.
His Royal Highness Prince Alexander of Northalia.
I am truly sorry for your loss. It is indeed a great loss for us all.
He's come off surprisingly well considering he was eaten by a dragon.
Yeah.
or a dinosaur.
Maybe he just had a heart attack.
Who?
Possibly. The king.
The king.
Oh yeah, maybe he fell down in.
there.
Yeah, maybe he fell down in fright. There's a lot that doesn't make sense about injuries. I'll get to that bit as well.
Perhaps if we were to consider a union of both our kingdoms.
Is he our hero in this?
He's
Kind of,
supposed
I
to
guess,
be.
yeah.
He is supposed to be, but he's very difficult to root for.
Something cannot be true. How is it possible?
Good actress.
She isn't awful.
She's not awful,
She is
no.
very poorly served by a terrible script.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, very much so.
Oh, you have been travelling abroad.
I have been at the convent.
She says she lived in the convent, and he just goes, a nun?
Yeah.
And she goes, no, I've not had the calling yet. And you see him kind of go,
I have not yet felt the calling.
Queenie's then in her room. She says to the mirror, mirror on the wall, who's fairest of them all.
Got to find out. Didn't she just do that this morning?
She did, but Snow White hadn't got
Snow
there
White.
yet.
Snow White has just arrived. You see.
So on the day of the funeral, she first of all checks that she's the fairest. Then she gets proposed to and says, "I'll think about it." And then she goes upstairs again and goes, "Oh, tell me again who's the fairest."
Yeah. We cut to an outside shot where Handsome Man is just lurking in a bush. And Snow
This
White.
is our hero.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Princess. I didn't mean to disturb you.
No, I should go.
So they get to know each other, and then he asks her out on a date.
Cool.
Well, actually, he asks her if she'd like to go walking at noon.
And then, because he's so fucking fickle, he gives her a ring.
Not a ring, the ring that he just offered the Queen.
Yeah, there you go.
That she didn't accept.
He is that fucking fickle that he just does that. So Snow White decides, fuck this, I'm going home. And the Queen says to her huntsman,
Take her to the Northvalian wildwoods. Leave her body for the beasts. But bring me her heart.
So the huntsman then escorts Snow White into the woods.
With a mate.
And then the hunter attacks her.
In the most preposterous way.
Essentially what happens is they push her to the floor. Remember that. All she has done has been pushed to the floor.
But there is this beautiful moment where basically they say to her, let's take a shortcut off the path this way. And she says, no, I don't want to. It seems safer this way. And as she's looking away from him, he's got the knife out like this.
Oh, I do remember, yeah.
She turns round to look at him and he goes, oh.
Perhaps we should stay on the path.
Yeah, it's quite panto.
If you want to make this more difficult.
And then just as he's about to stab her, there is a sudden dinosaur laser attack. So the dinosaur then goes for the huntsman, and he legs it because he's a fucking pussy. So because he's been chased off and he hasn't actually managed to kill Snow White, he decides to go and then cut the heart out of his henchman and then bring that back to the Queen.
Oh, friends like these.
It's not a bad plan.
It's not a bad plan, but like really quickly executed. Huntsman then takes the heart back to the Queen.
Takes the
and
dead
says
man's...
the dead henchman's heart back. And says, yeah, I did my job. And then she throws it to her dodgy CGI dogs.
Oh my God.
The handsome man has now decided that he must propose to Snow White.
Can't live without her.
Can't live without her
So
because he's so in love with her.
This is all still pre-noon.
Sire, where are you headed with such purpose?
I must learn my fate, Hugh. I'm going to propose to Snow White.
There is actually quite a nice shot where he leaves the henchman and then he goes out onto a balcony, out a door,
It's
onto a
through
balcony.
like a glass door, isn't it? To talk
and then
to
he
the
goes
Queen.
and talks to Queenie, and you can't hear their conversation. But then he comes back distraught because obviously Queenie's just told him that she's dead.
Oh, yes. I assumed they did that because he couldn't act.
I think you may well be correct.
It does look quite... It looks all right, actually, as far as shots in this film go.
He goes from standing up straight to ever so slightly slumping his shoulders and then walks out
To be
the
fair,
room.
he only met her like half hour earlier.
I was going to say,
he's probably not actually that bothered.
No. The elves have found Snow White and they have brought her back to their hut. She's unconscious. And
She's unconscious?
She's unconscious.
Oh, she's out of game,
That
mate.
push.
Out of game.
That push has done her.
Wait
mate.
a minute, and then...
She's like coma type.
She is in a coma. She's injured after being pushed to the floor. And then I called them the dodgy ear elves.
Oh, yes!
Because if you look very closely, it's like...
You don't even have to look that closely.
No, you don't. Don't make out you got to look close. They bought them from eBay and they thought all skin colour matches all. And
All skin colour matches and all ears are the same shape at the top.
Grey. It's quite grey. It's like the tops of their ears have gone dead. But then the sort of head lady elf then decides that because she was pushed to the floor, she needs a potion. All that's happened is she's been pushed to the floor. Like, I cannot stress that enough. She has just been pushed to the floor. But she's now unconscious and needs a potion.
In the next scene, the Queen says to Slave Elf,
Isabella, I have a headache.
and the Queen's headache's gone. It's like, so why can you do that? You as random slave elf who lives with your amulet can just solve all of these problems. But you have to make up some potion to fix the woman who got pushed over.
Back to the Queen, that she thinks, fuck all these little pissy amulets that you've all got. I want that fucking flame, mate.
Why now?
That power.
Why?
Because there needs to be a story, Tom. So after she's had a little headache massage thing, she asks the mirror again, who is the fairest of them all. And the mirror grasses up on the old huntsman and says...
Well, he's still in bed.
Yeah,
Snow White.
Snow
White's still.
But Snow White's...
There's still one fairer.
Yeah.
So she knows now that the heart was not the heart. So she gets pissy with Huntsman, tortures him, and then throws him to the dogs. So Moody Elf comes back and he's seen the Queen's men out.
The Queen's men are all over the forest. They're looking for a human girl.
So because they're there, they all sort of decide that they're going to have to go and attack the Queen's men now.
How does Moody Elf feel about this?
He's the one who wants...
He sort of wants to go for it, yeah.
All right.
Huntsman 2.0 goes back to the Queen and says, no, we've not found her yet. So then she does this, release the hounds! And someone opens the very thin gate, and about 100 of these things run out.
Yeah.
Very badly.
You're like, this
very
is
badly
it.
rendered.
Snow White. There's no way Snow White's getting out of this.
This is why I thought I must have been close to the end of this movie.
Yeah.
And then when I
you're
checked the
only
time,
halfway in.
I was about 22 minutes in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Snow White wakes up in Elf Hut. The only elf that's there, because the rest of them have gone out for a little dust up, is Weird Elf.
Brunt. That's what everyone calls me.
Oh, I'd much prefer to call you by your name.
Really? My given name is Hagthorn.
So then Snow White decides that she's like, fuck this, I'm going as well. So she just leaves.
Hagthorn! They build this whole fantasy world and all this, and then there's fucking plastic guttering.
The hut that the
on the
elves
hut of
live
the
in.
elves.
Well, you know, they've got magic.
For what? To make plastic?
Yeah, why not? Make the headaches go away, mate.
I mean, if you could make stuff with magic, would you not make guttering?
Yeah, you would.
Be the first that, you know.
I don't.
Rather
I
that
really
than
don't like. How can we
No.
collect? Yeah, collecting water to drink.
bit of drainage.
Come on.
So hold on a
you
minute.
Want a funnel?
Hold on, then. Hold on. So you want to say that actually that's justified?
No, I mean, it looks
you want to
shit.
say it's justified? You think they did that, or they filmed it, and the director went, "Leave it in. They're fucking magic."
So, whilst Snow White's walking in the woods, Handsome Man is also walking in the woods, and,
moping,
and he sees the dogs, the Queen's dogs, run past, and he was like, "Wait a minute." I don't know how he knows that that's relevant. The dogs then find Snow White, sort of surround her, and then Handsome Man appears at the same time. Then he then runs off and then starts throwing rocks at the dogs. Then the dogs are scared off by an earthquake, which I think is made by the elves.
There's only so much power you can get out of a 1990s iMac, isn't there?
So that it sort of scares off the dogs. That's
your catchphrase,
yeah,
isn't it?
I guess if I can
We'll
say
get a
that.
t-shirt.
I mean, the
Start
quality,
selling merch.
Quality of the movies we watch, it's
on that level.
It's always an accurate statement.
Yeah.
And then a dinosaur appears because they just needed one at this point.
Do these dinosaurs appear randomly?
Yeah, just plot devices, Tom.
Where are you? You're not supposed to leave.
At this point, Weird Elf has turned up because he realises he's lost Snow White, so he's gone off after her.
Weird Elf Yankovic.
Handsome Man starts fighting the dinosaur. He does so by jumping on its head. And there's a bit where the dinosaur then starts slamming its own head into trees to knock him off. But he's fine.
He's all right.
He's all right.
Not a mark on him.
Not a hair out of place.
He's wearing a white jacket.
Yeah, he's fine. Utterly fine. The Handsome Man obviously, collects his bearings and then just cuts it off. Cuts the head off the dinosaur. We go back to Moody Elf and he's like, we have to fight the Queen because he's realised that the Queen wants the flame.
We never should have trusted humans. We should have remained isolated.
Snow White just wants everyone to stop fighting.
Please, allow me to speak with him.
This is her moment for I must sort of bring harmony to the
this
kingdoms.
is where the hints that she might be the Mercurial.
Yeah, the special one. So she's sort of like, I want to help now. I want to help stop this. So the elves then, I don't know if I missed this, but the elves then send her on a secret mission that's very dangerous, but you're not really sure what it is. Weird Elf has his moment of I'll be brave.
I will go.
Because, he's special, so, it's not possible that he could be brave or anything.
No.
So Weird Elf goes off with her.
It's like when, what's her name? She went and sung on Britain's Got Talent.
Susan Boyle.
Yeah, she walked on and everyone was like, she's ugly. There's no way she can sing. And
got
then everyone
any
goes, oh my God, the ugly bird can sing.
It is grief that caused your vision of Snow White.
But it was so real.
The Queen convinces him that it's his grief has made him hallucinate. You must have cut the head off a dinosaur for a random blonde. You must have ridden a dinosaur's neck and been smashed into a tree, but not got a mark on your fine coat.
Yeah, that would be more my thing. The Queen just looking at him going, Bullshit, you
Yeah.
did that.
You've not been anywhere.
Look at ya.
If you've been anywhere, it's to see a bloody tailor.
Yeah, you've been laundrette, mate.
Doesn't he also accept that they're going to get married the next day?
Yeah.
I have decided that you were correct. Our union is the best thing for both of our kingdoms.
So Snow White at this point is sneaking into the castle with the Weird Elf. And then Weird Elf, some guards approach, and then Weird Elf then distracts the guard so she can leg it.
What does he do?
He impresses
just
them
goes,
with his
"Push
crochet.
me!"
Hey, over here!
And then she just leaves him. Because... Snow White just leaves him and he gets caught by the guards and taken to the dungeon.
Poor Hagthorn. I am to blame.
Yes, you are.
Because they got caught and Weird Elf is now in the dungeon, they come up with a new plan.
We need is someone inside the castle. If only the Runter, someone could tell us what she's planning.
Wait, is tomorrow the new moon?
Yes.
Well, then today's market day. Isabella will be there making purchases for the Queen.
So why do they need her?
Man on the inside, because she's the Queen's servant.
So the Queen then goes to see Weird Elf in the dungeon and then uses, because he's a little bit human, she uses a witchy magic on him.
Now I know you've been keeping company with my stepdaughter, Snow White.
Spills the beans about where she is, about where Snow White is.
Oh, she's staying in a hut with incredibly good guttering. You can't miss it. It's the one with impeccable drainage.
We call it plastic.
The maid then makes a poison ring for the Queen to use.
Slip it on her finger and she will fall unconscious in moments. From there, she shall never wake.
Make this a sapphire.
Because she's found out where Snow White is, she's like, we need a weapon.
Yeah.
Which apparently a ring would suffice. So then the Queen asks the maid, like, turn me into a I thought she said crow, and I wrote crow in my notes, then very quickly realised crone.
Oh.
Make me a crone. So she sort of gives her a disguise.
Right.
Which you don't see straight away.
No, you don't. You don't see the thing.
Oh, right. Because it's like, oh, you're going to be surprised
reveal,
by
yeah.
what she looks
So
like.
now we cut to Snow White in the market.
Isabella.
You have abandoned your kind for the comfort of the Queen's good graces. Now I implore you.
The White White Throne is one of honor and the Queen a person of beauty.
How can you turn your back on all the
Long
suffering?
live the good Queen!
She says no.
It was a good attempt.
So say she says no. and then
their
what,
plans.
but
No, they deserve to
The
die.
plans are
These
shit.
plans are awful. Sneak in. Oh, one of us got caught. All right, never mind. Another plan. Ask her if she wants to go. No, she doesn't.
Orlando, wait!
Basically just says, do you want a ring? Do you want to buy a ring from
really
me?
weird. Like,
Really weird choice of weapon.
why they didn't go with just eat an apple again? Because that makes so much more sense than
That she might be
I'll-
hungry.
I'll just give you
Yeah.
a ring.
And I think it looks
Is
like
it
her
because
dad's
it looks
ring.
like no,
or
it looks
another ring.
it looks like the ring that
that was
he
stolen.
gave her,
Yes.
that Huntsman,
Oh.
Magpie Huntsman took from her.
Well, that
Yeah.
makes sense. See, this film does make sense.
Oh, totally. They've basically just painted her grey and put a few wrinkles on her, haven't they?
Yeah, she looks really out of place.
yeah.
For a disguise, she looks really out of place.
She doesn't look like an old woman.
She doesn't.
She looks like a fucking.
She doesn't
alien.
even look like. She doesn't look human.
No, she does. She looks like an alien, doesn't
Yeah.
she? Like she's.
Do you reckon?
Like she's a wilted Incredible Hulk or something like that.
And then the crone just sort of disappears. She's gone, and then all the elves sort of like, "Oh no, what's wrong with her? What's wrong with her?" And then the next scene is them carrying her body through a field, right? And they put her on a pyre, right?
They're about to burn the woman.
And weirdly,
About to burn a girl.
Wait a minute. Why has it gone from?
No one's even checked for a pulse.
They found her first, and she'd just been pushed over, right?
Yeah.
And they were like, "We need a potion." And now she's fainted again, and they're like, "Fucking burn her."
Yeah.
These elves are worse than
They are
normal
shit.
people.
because weirdly as well,
No wonder
something-
we've enslaved them.
They're useless. They're like, "Oh, fix my headache," and she goes all like that. She could just pop to paracetamol.
They're fine if you tell them what to do. It's when
Yeah.
they're left to make their own decisions that shit goes
They're
terribly
like,
wrong.
human is falling down.
They've carried her to this pyre, and they've put makeup on her face.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because she was in disguise. She was incognito in a little, like, you know, sort of peasant's clothes, no makeup.
Yeah.
And then the next shot after she sort of collapsed is just her made up face.
Where is she? Where is she?
The real flaw in the Queen's plan.
There's not.
There is.
No, it's not, Dave.
The Queen. Ring goes on.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's it. You're poisoned. You're dead. We'll burn him.
we should probably take his jewelry off. We don't want to burn that.
Yep.
So just
Oh my God! Why didn't the Queen just stab her in the neck?
No, because the Queen she just disappeared. She just went, oh, she's dead.
But before you put the ring on, you go, check out this ring. Snow White goes, oh, and you just go
bang
back in the neck. And the fucking elves would be clueless.
It's crass, Tom, for a queen to be stabbing people. And then we cut back to Handsome Man, who's just moping about with his Camp German.
That's all he does.
He does. So he just
he
mopes
lurks
around.
and he mopes, and then he proposes to people.
And Camp German Man says, oh, you know, oh, by the way, remember you're getting married to the Queen tomorrow.
Yep, don't forget that.
When did
Don't
that?
forget that.
I don't care.
Because that was arranged.
No, I don't care, Dave.
That was
Dave,
arranged.
I don't
Dave,
give a shit.
yeah,
I don't care.
No one cares. They're in the stables at this point, and there's some stable hands working on a horse, and he then sees a boy.
Where did you get that?
Please, I did nothing wrong.
And then Handsome Man gets like, where did you get that from? Because it's Snow White's ring.
Right.
And then this is a bit where the kid, he was like, where did you get it from? And he went,
My father gave it to me.
How did he get it?
He got it from a girl. My father was the Queen's huntsman. She hired him to kill a girl.
So he killed her?
No, he planned to, but he did not.
And she's still alive.
oh, my dad was going to kill some girl and took it from her body. And then that's how he knows that Snow White's alive. The way that this kid delivers the fact that his dad murdered someone or was going to murder someone, then just stole the ring. It's just like, completely matter of fact.
Yeah.
It's like he's reading a shopping list, isn't it?
It's like he's reading a script.
They realise it was a poison ring and that it must have been the Queen. Obs. So they prepare to fight, and then Handsome Man proposes to Snow White. She says yes.
She tried to take you from me, but I swear she will never harm you again. If you consent to be my queen.
Handsome Man's like, I will rally the armies.
Fresh force for me. Ready, my men. Prince! I'm amassing an army to destroy the Queen.
Destroy the Queen? You are to marry her in 1 day's time.
No, Hugh. I shall marry Snow White.
And then the aide says to him, well, you're supposed to be having dinner with the Queen. We don't want to
get married tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, yes! I remember this bullshit.
You go on and dine with the Queen, and I shall go from kingdom to kingdom to commit the army to a cause.
Good. It's a fine idea.
That's an awful idea.
It's a trap. His German camp aide man walks in and he's like, you betrayed me. You betrayed me. He gets put in the dungeon with the weird elf. She goes down into the dungeons and sees them, and then she sort of bewitches Handsome Man.
Could have done it over dinner.
Kiss him. There's like less than 10 elves, but they're just hanging out on the side of a field getting ready to fight the army.
They filmed this and set this up like it was going to be Braveheart.
Yeah, they did. It really wasn't.
It really wasn't.
Yeah. It really wasn't. There is a shot of the Queen's army sort of slightly later on, and it's quite big.
Yeah.
But there's only 6 elves.
Yeah, and you're like, they're just going to demolish. Like, I feel to the point where you're like, this is sad. Like, it's just
they're
sad.
just going to get slaughtered.
It's sad, but good for them for going for
this
sort of real, unexpected, twisted ending where
they just wipe out the elves.
Yeah, she just bulldozes through them.
And then we cut back to the dungeon, and there's a shot of Handsome Man, who then reveals a massive key that he was hiding in his mouth. And I'm not talking like a little thing, right? But a massive key that he goes, and then sort of spits out. I'm assuming he got that whilst he was snogging the Queen.
What, she gave out of her mouth?
No, like he sort of somehow lifted, despite the fact his hands are shackled above his head, right? But he then sort of looks at Weird Elf and is like, oh.
Does he start kissing her neck and stuff while
Yeah.
she's looking about? So do you think he might...
Oh, he might
somehow lifted it off her head?
If she had it round...
her neck.
Then maybe he gave her...
Dave, no,
Sorry.
don't.
Maybe he gave her cleavage a little nibble.
Don't. There's no.
He
Yes,
grabbed
that is
it during the
essentially what they're
motorboat.
He then spits it out on the floor. Right, bearing in mind they've both got their arms shackled above their heads. Right,
Did he spit it like towards the feet of Special Elf?
Yeah, and then Weird Elf Yankovic then picks it up with his foot, and I guess he just lifts his head above his head. You don't see it.
His legs up.
You don't see it. I guess they do.
Hold on. So the only way he can get out of this is to hook the key up with both his feet and then lift him above his head and then hook them into the thing.
Actually unlock.
He's got to unlock.
Not forgetting that at the point at which he unlocks the shackles, he's completely.
I want to see it. I want to see that.
I want to see the direction.
It's like holding.
What's holding him up? After the unlocking and the escaping, the prince, because he fucked up and couldn't get the army, he just goes to some prisoners. Do you wanna come fight for me? Because I've really messed up and my fiance's going to be well pissy. The prisoners just go, yeah, right. Yeah, let's do it.
They do. They're really enthusiastic.
Who here seeks to overthrow the queen?
I am weak, but I will fight. I will do whatever you ask.
Whilst this is happening, the new huntsman and a henchman sneak off to try and steal the flame. But then they get attacked by a dinosaur, and there's a brilliant bit because they're fighting with something off camera because you see the shot and they're just like poking off camera, and then they both sort of just stab it in the mouth, and then it dies. But there's no exertion when this is happening.
That's because it ain't there, Chris, and they're not good actors.
Handsome boy turns up with his prison gang.
These murderers and rapists.
Yeah, that's it. You know what they're there for.
Yeah, with his foundation of the new kingdom, the rapey child murderers.
Weird Elf gets stabbed at this point and goes to ground. Takes a spear, and everyone's like, no. Handsome man gets shot. I think he gets shot.
What do you mean you think?
And then because Handsome man goes down, pretty much the elves just throw their weapons down, and the queen is just sort of like, oh yeah, I've won now.
Does she stroll in?
Yeah, she just strolls in like, oh, he's injured now. And everyone just sort of gives up. Queen's like, bring me a priest. Come on, we'll do it here.
Oh, yes.
Oh, she wants to get married, doesn't she?
On the field.
And it's at this point we cut back to a shot of Weird Elf, and he wasn't stabbed, Tom. It just went in between his arm and his body.
So why did he go down like he'd been stabbed?
If you rewind and watch closely, that's exactly what it looks like.
So then he sneaks up on a guard and offs the guard who's protecting Snow White. All right. Snow White then just walks over to the Queen. None of the other guards do absolutely anything.
Yeah.
She just sort of walks up to the Queen and she turns around and went,
You?
Yes. Me.
And then Snow White chops Queenie's dodgy CGI head off.
The end.
Is that the end?
Oh, not quite, because obviously Handsome Man is injured on the floor. They then all sort of put their hands over him in like some cheap seance. And then he wakes up, he kisses Snow White. They've obviously been married. They're just stood on the balcony of the castle. They wave off the elves as they go back to the woods. Shot of the flame. That's it. End.
So that was Grimm's Snow White. Christopher, what would you give it as a score out of 5, and your enjoyment level, and what would you?
I would say don't watch this independently of this. Like, if you're watching this, you've seen the best bits of it. Tom has done probably a better job of making this look entertaining than the actual film is. Yeah, there's not a great deal here. It's quite painful. It's so hard to follow just because there's so much going on and everything is relevant. Absolutely everything. It's devoid of emotion, really.
Yeah.
This whole thing. I'm going to give this half a star because there is some funny bits in there, but you've probably seen them all now.
I'm giving this no stars. I'm sorry. And you know what? Maybe I'll be another mistake like Ninja Apocalypse, and I'll have to adjust it for inflation. But there was no fun to be had. It was all such, and like didn't make sense. Like at least Ninja Apocalypse, at least it kind of made sense. At least Extinction kind of made sense, and it was easy enough to follow. This overcomplicates itself for no reason.
And this is a story we should all know.
Yes.
That's the thing that I find. This has been the hardest to follow, and it is the one that is
the
based
most familiar
in the most familiar story.
Yeah, when I picked this to watch, I did think this will be a breeze because it will just be some shitty fantasy kind of...
Some terrible acting
and, it's not,
and some funny
it's tough.
kind of...
It's really
Ironically,
tough.
they went too hard on the fantasy element, but didn't have the budget or the time to tell a story.
I don't want to think about it. I don't want to watch it. And I would never recommend this to anyone to watch as a bad film. As a so good it's bad. I cannot. I can't. Dave?
No stars. None. If I could give it a negative, I would, but I don't know how. I don't know how you'd put that up on the screen with our funny little.
No, we don't do negatives. Yeah. I'm not getting into that.
No,
we don't want to be overly
stars.
negative.
Not even. Like, for all the reasons you said, and it was appalling.
Yeah,
just awful.
Yeah,
just terrible.
It's the worst we've seen.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't bother.
So, if you liked this video, however, rather than liking Grimm Snow White, please do give it a like. Please do subscribe to this channel because we're going to continue doing these.
Whether you like it or not.
Exactly.
Click on the little bell so you get all your notifications. So you know when we've put up a new
video. Make sure you do that and say hello in the comments. Say, oi, I watched Grimm Snow White and I loved it. And we'll say you're a liar.
We probably don't believe you exist.
Yeah.